this signpost is pointing us to yield and to take the time to get communication skills. And this is a big one for every engineer. You know, whether you're 18 years old or whether you're 65 years old, having communication skills is going to be a huge success strategy for you. And to illuminate this, let me take you to when I'm 23 years old. I'm a young engineer working in the guts of ship's engine rooms out in the tropics. It's 120 degrees. It's cruel work. It's absolutely cruel work. And I'm on watch with a third engineer called Neil. And Neil doesn't like me. Neil has it in for me. Everything I do, Hill, don't do this. Hill, don't do that. Hill, didn't they teach you anything in college? And Neil was getting into my head. And that was the first time I had somebody actually eroding my self-esteem. But I decided to get Neil back. Bit of a poison dwarf in me, maybe. And I had noticed that Neil, when he started up the big reciprocating air compressors that compress the air up to 500 psi, that to start it, he would stand in front of an I-beam, and then he'd put his arm around to where the start button was. And I think the reason he did that was he may have had a fright at some stage where a machine came apart on him, and he was a little bit timid. But this evening, I had a plan. And I went up to the workshop, and I got a sledgehammer that's so big, we nicknamed it the Animal. And I was watching the pressure gauge and waiting for the low pressure air alarm to go off. And I'd hidden the Animal around the corner. And when I saw Neil going towards the air compressor, I went around the other way and I hid in the little corner near the air compressor. I peeped around the corner and I saw Neil standing in front of his I-beam, and then he put his arm around. The minute he pressed the start button, I took the Animal and I slammed it onto the metal diamond plates. Have you ever heard lightning strike over your house? It's about 10 times that noise. And then things went into slow motion. Neil dropped to the ground and he rolled. His eyes were as big as baseballs. And then he looked up at me and he started running after me. Hill! Hill! Officers don't do stuff like that! I said, well, Neil, it looks like I'm not a good officer, does it? Well, that was a low point in my communication skills as an engineer, and well, the reality is, I had to leave that company to get a promotion.